allowing that vibration, the sound of creation to just flow all over you and center you this morning. As we welcome Gary Weinberg for our special music this morning. Welcome, Gary.
Thank you. I'm reaching out to feel the infinite. I'm reaching out to know the divine. I'm reaching out to feel the infinite. Yeah, forever is already mine. I'm going deep to feel the infinite. I'm going deep to know the divine. I'm going deep to feel the infinite. Yeah, forever is already mine. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm already there, I'm already home, I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm rising up to feel the infinite. I'm rising up to know the divine. I'm rising up to feel the infinite. Yeah, forever is already mine. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. Thank you.
Yes, welcome home. Welcome, everybody, to the Amani Center this morning. It's so nice to see everyone here on a beautiful fall day. So just a little bit about us. So I said we're the Amani Center, and I'm Reverend Belinda. Oh, one more thing. Do we have some children to release for do some awesome affirmation today and teach it to us later? How's that? Okay. Thank you. So we're the Amani Center, and just wanted to show you our vision statement. And actually, if you would say it with me with energy and enthusiasm this morning, get some energy going. Lighting the path to peace together. Amen. Like the planet needs it right now, and all of your peaceful energy everywhere. Visualize it, see it happening. And this a little bit about who we are. Well, we're an open and inclusive spiritual community. We believe that many paths lead to the divine. I mean, there's actually a thread that runs through Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianity, that all say the same thing, all mean the same thing. And we're a place where we can learn and grow and be together. Safe and welcoming space, so that you can ask your questions, so that you can grow in consciousness. And that's, I think, the most important work that we can do here on this planet, because when I grow in consciousness, by my vibration, I lift others. So that's your job. So and here we are to provide this opportunity for you. And when you're together like this, like we are today, we rise each other up. We raise each other up in vibration. So thank you for being here. So, it says all are welcome here. Is there anybody here for the first time today? Anybody? Oh, Hello, good morning. We have a gift for you that just tells a little bit more about us. Gina, do we have, you did it already. Well, she's on the ball. And please feel free. If you have any questions, there's a few of us around that be happy to answer your questions. And we have a lot of information online on our Facebook page at theamanicenter.org. Okay? But one of the really big things that we do teach classes so that we can grow in consciousness. We have a first year that includes things like 4 agreements. You can heal your life. We teach bigger classes that can lead up to practitioner certification. We've even done a ministerial track here and had 5 people graduate as ministers from the center. Yeah, so it's really was such an honor. Reverend Pixie was one. My sister was another. She's a reverend through here, so yes. And it was an amazing class. But the classes help us to dive deeper and get into some of the really deep core issues and bring them to light and really have a chance to practice our spirituality day by day. That being said, the practitioner course, we have a tool that we use called affirmative prayer, spiritual mind treatment, that we know heals. And we have to prove it to get our certification, number one. So the people that pray with you, you know that they've been through 4 years of class and a test, oral exam and a written exam. So it's not skating here. We do some deep work. And we would like to offer it to you complimentary after service. If you have something you're looking to manifest and bring to you or something you would really like to release, just let it go. We can know that truth for you. So take advantage of that. Or you can contact us at theamanicenter.org Facebook page. You can put a note out and a minister, practitioner will get back to you and pray with you. Actually, give us your information if you want to call back or if you just, we'll put you on the prayer tree and the ministers and practitioners pray in our own time. We have a meeting once a month, but we pray daily. We get constant messages. So they're always, as Reverend Pixie likes to put it, on the high watch, knowing the truth for you. Yes. That's actually, do you know, when I do a spiritual mind treatment for another, it's me that gets lifted. I'm the one that also feels the bright vibration, so it's the two of us, for sure. So anyway, I'd like to bring up Marcy to do the announcements for us today.
Thank you, Reverend Belinda. All right, so we're just tell you a little bit about what's going on here at the Amani Center. This is October, and our theme is Divine Calling. So you've been hearing some great talks about that theme or on that theme, and we will continue to do that with Reverend Mitch Austin today. And then we have Reverend Sherry next week, and then we're going to have ministerial intern Kathy Wilson at the end of the month on the 29th. So great month, great way to really kick fall off the right way by being here. Here's some of the other things going on. We have our big fall fundraiser, which is our Control-Alt-Delete concert on October 21st. So that is John Dufour's band. Has anyone heard them before in person, Control-Alt-Delete? They are awesome. So that is going to be a great show. We're going to move all these chairs. We're going to dance. It's music you know and love. So show up for that 6 to 9 on October 21st. If you would like to help with that at all, let me know. We'll be looking for some volunteers to help with that event. We have a teen play date coming up with Nicole and Addie, so they have a great time. If you know any teens who would like to just do something fun, they do creative things, they do clay, they do art, and mostly they just get to be together and be in community, and teens really need that. So that is October 20th from 6:30 to 8:30. Everyone's welcome. So if you know a teen who might like to be here or a parent of a teen, let them know they can just show up for that. It's great fun. We are going to be out at Burke Junction on October 27th doing trick or treat. So they have a bunch of tables set up. We'll have a table there. We'll be handing out candy. Come see us. Bring your kids. Bring your grandkids. Tell other people to come out there. That's going to be a good chance for us to get out and be seen in the community. And then new class starting October 25th, the 7 Spiritual Laws of Success, which I will be leading. I really love this class. It's really practical, and it's an awesome class. You're going to really just work through these laws, and it will, if you do this, if you practice this, you're going to see transformation in your life. So join us for that. We're going to do it hybrid, so we'll be here in the space, but also you can join via Zoom. You can go back and forth if that's what works for your schedule. If you want to join that class, go to theamanicenter.org and sign up for it, and then order your book online. I checked, and we don't have any here. So you can grab that book ahead of time. Still plenty of time to get that online. And then we have the full moon for October coming up on the 28th. So those are great rituals that we do here in the space. There's meditation, there's journaling, there's discussion, there's music. I encourage everyone to come for that. And then also year 3 Science of Mind review will begin in October 30th, and that will be online 6 to 9 with Reverend Pixie. So that's folks who are really moving forward doing that work to become a practitioner or eventually a minister. So that's another great one that is coming. You can sign up for that as well at theamanicenter.org. One other thing I wanted to add in here, it's not an Amani event, but anybody going to Hoofstock today besides me? And yeah, we got Brian, we got Reverend Belinda. So this is a fantastic event that our good friend Julie's nonprofit, Hands and Hooves, is doing. It's out at, what is that called? The Shadow Ranch in Fort Jim Road in Placerville. So it's this beautiful grassy trees. It's a lovely space. They're going to have 3 different bands, including our own Sonia's band, the Random Strangers. There's going to be food. It's catered by the Kilted something or other. I don't remember the name of the caterer, but so included in your ticket will be those 3 bands, a full meal, and it's going to be just a fun event and a great way to support Hands and Hooves and Julie, who does so much for the center. So you can show up there and buy your ticket at the gate. It's going to be really a great time. Beautiful day out. So I encourage everyone to do that. If you have any questions, there's some handouts on that back table. And I'm going to have Reverend Belinda come up, and we have a little special presentation we're going to do.
Surprise! We would like to invite Reverend Mitch Austin and ministerial intern Kathy Wilson up to the stage. Did you bring the other thing up? Oh, gotcha. So we know that you guys have already gotten back from Unity Village and got your certificates and were celebrated, but we at the Amani Center would like to celebrate you too. So you could say you're dual certified if you would like, because we have our own academy here, right? So our academy and the Amani Center is recognizing both of your accomplishments. So for Mitch Austin, you have a certificate here for Interfaith Minister. We presented him with a certificate from all of us at the center for his lovely stole. Yeah, and yes, okay, I'll let you do that. And Kathy Wilson, ministerial intern Kathy Wilson, has gotten her Master's of Spiritual Studies. And so not only do we have a certificate from the Amani Center recognizing you, but a gift as well. And look, it matches delightfully. Wow.
Chris.
That's perfect. Wow. Spirit moves in amazing ways.
Kathy was also on my show at Unity Village, and you need to know Kathy's story. This person is phenomenal. So if you want to check it out, you can jump on New Thought Media Network's Facebook page or my YouTube. It was an incredible interview, so I hope you check it out.
And we saw great pictures of you with Marcy Baruch, too. I'm going to have to give that girl a call. She needs to be here. Yeah. Congratulations to both of you. I'm so grateful that you were recognized, and so we would like to recognize. How about if everybody, we do 3 ohms to just bless them today? If you would stand. nice. I really believe the Amani Center and the Academy do great work in the world. And thank you both for being such a great representation of that. Yeah, absolutely. So now let's go inward for a moment and get ourselves ready for this beautiful service today as I do a blessing. And if you're comfortable, please close your eyes, knowing that the divine is right here where we are, at the center of our being, that the ground that you stand on is holy ground, that you are the expression of the divine as you, and that you've shown up here today to hear this talk. Who's calling? The divine is calling, and you've answered. We're grateful that you're here today. We're grateful for this work that we do, this genuine intention and desire to grow in consciousness. Grateful for every person that volunteers, that shows up to do this amazing work. We're grateful for that expression of the divine that you are, holy and whole. So with a heart filled with gratitude for each other, because I know when I look into your face, I see the face of the divine. So we release this and let it go, knowing that we each receive the blessing of this service today that lifts us up and attends our day as we share this uplifted vibration with everyone that we come in contact with. Thank you, sweet spirit. And we say together, and so it is. So I'd love to bring up ministerial intern Kathy Wilson to do the affirmation for us today.
All righty. So it's time to do our affirmation. We do it 3 times. The first time with enthusiasm. Feel the words. Let it in to give you a bath of love. The second time we do it in our quiet voice. Third time, please be silent and do it with me as I speak the words. Uh-oh. That's okay. Yeah, thanks. Just a little. Yeah. Thank you. All right, so let us begin. I remember that I am always in communication with directing me to my highest and best good. This is brought to us by our wonderful Reverend Mitch Austin. Second time, I remember that I am always in communication with Spirit, and it is always directing me to my highest and best good. I remember that I am always in communication with Spirit, and it is always directing me to my highest and best good. And together we say, and so it is.
So Gary's going to be playing a song to lead us into meditation, and then Kathy Wilson would take us into that meditation, and then as we come out, she'll lead us in a spiritual mind treatment. So taking this in and getting yourself settled for meditation this morning.
Sorry, of course, meditation always works, even if you have to tune first. child of the living God, made in the image of perfect love. All that I am, all I've been given to you, my God, I surrender. I am a child of the living God, made in the image of perfect love. All that I am, all I've been given to you, my God, I surrender. I surrender. I surrender.
In this sacred space, it is now time for our meditation. Going within to that most sacred, holy space where the divine speaks to us. So I invite you to clear your mind of any busyness that got you here, anything that might be weighing on your heart or soul, releasing all activity of the mind, and going down into that divine sacred space, taking any question, any thought, any desire into your meditation to have a conversation with God. Enjoy your meditation. as we recognize the power and presence, the absolute unconditional love of the Spirit, we absolutely know that it flows in, as, and through each of us. That the power of healing, of the Christ consciousness, of the most high healing power in the universe is ours, right here and right now. And we are so grateful for this power and this presence. So I invite you to take into your mind, into your heart, someone who can use or needs that healing power of prayer. Say their name out loud. It can be anyone. Don't forget to include yourself. There is one mind and spirit, one God, one infinite, indwelling source of all creation. It is everywhere and in everything. And we are the physical manifestations of that source, of that God. And as such, we go through our day, our week, our month, our year, being the light, being the joy, being the love, and knowing absolutely that in this time, healing is being called for. And so I affirm the healing power of each and every one of us here today, and each and every one of us in our community, in our state, in our country, and beyond, that we can make a difference. I am grateful for this. I am grateful for all of the attributes of God that each and every one of us have within us. It is our birthright, and we are being called. Thank you, God. I release my word into the universal law, knowing it is done. It is so. Thank you. And together we say, and so it is. And another wonderful song.
So conditions are, sometimes, it seems like everything's a little bit crazy. And that's the hard thing for those of us who are light workers, is to step back and say, okay, you can't pretend like it's not happening, so what do? That's why we come to places like Amani Center. And this song, I don't know that it offers a way out, but it's another way to think about it, perhaps. The world's gone crazy. There's too many distractions. We're all divided up into hopelessly tangled factions. It's like Mother Earth has gone into labor. And look out, here come the contractions. The world's gone crazy. So what am I supposed to do? I mean, I can throw a tantrum, or I can flagellate myself till I'm black and blue. Or I can take all of these alternative facts and I can make believe they're true. Really, the world's gone crazy. So I gotta go back. I gotta breathe. I gotta go back to what I believe. I gotta remember there's more than what I see. I gotta look for the love at the heart of me. Yes, the world's gone crazy. There's a phantasm of lies made up to convince us not to believe what we see with our own two eyes. The liars are pretty good at it, you know. They even look just like us. They eat hot dogs and apple pie, but the world's gone crazy. So I gotta go back. I gotta breathe. I gotta go back to what I believe. I gotta remember there's more than what I see. I gotta look for the love at the heart of me. I gotta go back. I gotta breathe. I gotta go back to what I believe. I gotta remember there's more than what I see. I gotta look for the love. Yes, I look for the love. I'm gonna find the love deep in the heart of me.
Let's give it up one more time for Gary Weinberg. And Gary's part of a two-man band called the Bagmen. When are you guys performing again?
The 10th, the second Friday of November at Ederays.
Ederays. Ooh. Awesome. 10th. What time?
It goes 6 to 8:30.
Sacramento. Don't miss it. It's a good time. I love going.
And Ederays has great food.
Oh, yeah. Food, great people, great music, you and Bob. So, yeah, make it if you can. Well, good morning. Isn't today great? Fall has fell. I get to wear a suit because it isn't too hot. Turn to a neighbor and say, glad you're here. Glad you're here. Let's welcome each other. I love it when we have people in the room. You know, I do appreciate our Zoom folks, and thank you for joining us on Zoom Live as well. But I have to say, being in the room is like seeing a movie when the movie comes out in the theater versus Netflix, right? You know, versus seeing it later. So glad that you're with us today. So there's been a lot going on in the world. The latest conflict between the Israelis and the Palestinians. I think over 2,000 people have lost their lives so far. And I know that weighs heavy on our hearts because there's only one of us. We're all part of the one life. And that's a big part of the reason that the vision statement for Amani is paving the path to peace together. And so I'd like us to just go within for a second and send our love, send our healing, send our prayers for reconciliation to the Israelis and the Palestinians, that they'll put down their weapons, that they'll use their words and find a resolution so that no more lives have to be taken. And so let's just take a deep breath in as we take this moment. Let it out. And let's send our healing and our love. And I am knowing there's no time and space in the energy and the love that we have sent, and it is fully delivered, and it is felt, even in the most subtle way. Everything we think, everything we do matters. And I invite you to open your eyes now. And we all have a divine assignment to be the peace in the world, because the more peace we walk around, the more peace we make with the conflict we're feeling, the more peace we upload into the one mind. Because what happens, just like the clouds, whatever we upload comes what? Raining down. And so each of us can take up that mantle of peace so that may express all over the world. So we got work to do. You know, the noisy neighbor at 7 a.m. on Saturday, that one, got work to do. Find some peace, find some love in our families, with ourselves, with the people in our lives, and peace in our own minds with ourselves. It all matters, it all counts, and that's our work. Yes? Okay, good. So you see I'm wearing this beautiful stole, isn't it great? I want to thank the Circle of Light and the Amani Center for purchasing this for me. That's why I'm wearing the suit, so I could wear this. But I also want to point out this piece right here, this heart, which is an addition. It's an after factory edition. When I was up at the ANTN conference, Affiliated New Thought Network retreat, actually, it's the first week of October, was the most life-changing thing I've ever done. Ever. And it's the first week of October. If you get a chance, come. The people there are lovely. You'll get more hugs than you ever thought was possible. And they bring in some of the top speakers and talents from around the world. And the one person that they brought in, well, two people, they brought in Nemo Patel and Daniel Nahmad to do the music and speak and perform. And Nemo Patel brought these little hearts to give to everybody. This heart is from Gandhi's ashram, and they have a work program there for people to learn to sew. And this is a heart that was sewn from scrap pieces to be given out. So this is never leaving my stole, I'm just saying. But that's the kind of authenticity and richness you get exposed to for a whole week. And the best food you'll ever have. Vegans, vegetarians, gluten-free, doesn't matter, it was so good. So I hope you get to come. I'll be there next year, first week of October. You can look it up. If you have any questions, you can ask me after the service. So the title of today's talk is Who's Calling? Who's Calling? You guys remember the days before caller ID? And you pick up the phone. Who's calling? Who is this? Or if you're really brave, you answer your phone and it's that number and not a name, and they ask for you and you go, who's calling? Should I let them know it's me yet? And today we're going to talk about calls that we get from our head, from our heart, and from our soul. Would you like to know the difference and when to listen to each one? So let's start with the head. The head is driven by rational thought process. It's pulling on our logic, our reasoning. It's doing, remember the pros and cons list? Anybody ever do a pros and cons list for a relationship? Yeah, you're trying to do heart work with head work. Good luck. How'd that turn out? Okay. And what we need to remember about our head call is that it's loud, it's splashy, it's pushy, it's judgy, right? It's that voice of the ego that is trying to get you to run your life by the rules of the road of the world, the thinking of the world. And sometimes that's a good thing when it's in the right lane, but when it's in the wrong lane, not so good. And we're going to talk about that. Then there's the heart. Ah, the beautiful heart, which is driven by emotions. It has nothing to do with this, yeah? It's about our feelings, our emotions, how we experience passion and excitement and alignment for our desires. And sometimes we just leap from our emotional selves and do a face plant. Anybody ever have that happen? I've had that happen. Could have used a little more of this, I think. It's nonverbal. It's watery, and we feel it in the body somewhere. That's how we know that's our heart speaking to us. And then there is our soul speaking to us. That conjunction of that infinite part of ourselves that is also made of the divine. There is no separation. And that part, when it speaks to us, it transcends logic and emotion and gives us a profound sense of meaning or alignment or inner knowing. It actually defies logic. Anybody have that voice drop in, that whispery voice from out of the blue, and you went, really? Am I supposed to do that? Is that for me? And then you didn't listen to it and was right? And we question it. Who's got a dream to write a book? Anybody? I have a dream to write a book. Any book authors? Good. Okay, you want to see Melanie? Melanie, raise your hand. She's an incredible editor. See her after. Right? But most people have a dream to do something. But when the head comes in, what does it say? Who are you to write a book? Oh, look how many writers there are. The world don't need no more books. There's no money in making books. Nobody's going to publish you. Anybody hear those thoughts? We hear those all. That's your head. Your head's in the wrong lane. Because if your soul's calling you to write, that's yours to do. Or maybe you thought about the book, you got all excited. Ooh, I could do a memoir. I could tell the stories. I could put it in writing. But then all of a sudden you felt vulnerable or had anxiety, right? That's our heart. It's all over the place. But here's how you know if that book is a soul call. It doesn't stop calling. It keeps calling and calling and calling. And then all of a sudden you find yourself doing things. Reading blogs on writing, right? Taking a writing class. Talking to a friend who's writing a book. It just won't leave you alone. That is a soul call. That is your divine assignment, whatever it is. I had an experience of this. So fun fact, most of you know this, but I'm actually a transgender man, which means I was born into the world female and I transitioned to male. And it wasn't like I just woke up one day and said, oh yeah, I'm going to transition. What happened was I just started watching documentaries. I couldn't stop. I didn't know why. Couldn't stop. And then my clothes started to change. And then I didn't shave my legs. I didn't know why. But my soul was pulling me in this direction, even if my mind wouldn't recognize it. So sometimes we're just being pulled by our soul in a direction that we're going to go that way, either be, drugged or just decide to step into that direction. So we need to understand that the lane of the head is with matters of the world. Right? If I'm going to go for an interview, I can't wear my ripped jeans if I want to get the job. I want my head to say, do you want that job? You've got to wear business attire. You've got to match the culture. That's the lane. Navigating the rules of the road in the world so your intention will translate. That's where it belongs. It doesn't belong in your dreams. Right? And then the lane of your heart is love. What would love do? What do I love? Sometimes we love our adult children, and maybe it's not a good idea to co-sign the loan, but they need a car. And we do it out of love. That's the lane the heart belongs in. But our soul's calling is our divine direction, our divine assignment. So that call you're always going to say yes to, because it's never wrong. I saw something online that says, the more you listen to your soul, which is the true you, the more you will realize the part you play in the universe. Isn't people always looking for their purpose? Just say yes to that call, to that pull. And the soul speaks to us in very specific ways. It speaks to us through feeling tones, in our dreams, in our visions. Anybody ever have a dream and you woke up and it happened or it was true? Yeah, I dreamt once I had baby guppies in my tank, and I thought, really? And I looked, and there they were. They were swimming around. It was, I don't know, it was real. It was real. There's a book I really encourage people to get, especially if you're in this teaching. It's called One Mind, and the subtitle is How Our Individual Mind is a Part of the Greater Consciousness, that collective consciousness. It's written by an MD named Larry Dossey. And then there he has 3 examples of this. The first one, he tells a story of a woman who's driving home, and she gets to her stop where she always makes a right. She's been doing this for 15 years to go home this direction. But this particular day, she felt a strong pull to go the longer way, to go left. And she couldn't explain it, but she went left. And when she got home, she found out that the Mississippi bridge that she goes over had collapsed. And 13 people had died. She had a feeling, a pull. Then he tells a story about a man who had a dream that his friend's plane crashed. The next day, he called his friend. He said, don't go on the chartered flight. Go on the commercial flight. And he's like, no, it's going to be fine. So the friend finds him at the airport, tackles him, wrestles him to the ground, doesn't let him get on the plane. The guy is angry. Now he's got to take a commercial flight, and then he finds out that the plane indeed crashed. No survivors. And this is one of my favorites. There was this woman who kept seeing visually, right, we get visions, she was seeing a jumble of numbers. She kept seeing these numbers, so she wrote them down, and they were 10 digits. So she thought, maybe I'll just call it. So she calls the number, and she ends up getting a hospital. And she goes, well, I don't know why I'm calling. And they're like, well, is there somebody we can look for you? So she gives her son's name, and he's in ER. He had just been in an accident. And they get the doctor for him. How many of us would have ignored the numbers or the feeling? See, we need to have another part of our consciousness kick in, that this is our soul talking to us, guiding us, directing us towards our good. I had an experience of this. You know, as my mom got older, she had a condition, short bowel syndrome, and she was wasting away. I knew she was coming close to the end. And at night, I would go hook her up to food intravenous feeding tube. And then in the morning, I would unhook her. And I remember this one particular night, I hooked her up, and I had to go back to work. I don't know. Anyhow, back to work. And then it was midnight, and I was pulling out, and something said, go see your mom. And I didn't. And the next day, she had made her transition. I didn't listen. We need to listen. You don't get a do-over sometimes. And I still know it's all in divine right order, but I wish I had went left. So we need to listen to our soul. Why? Because we think 60,000 thoughts a day, and most of them are the same thoughts. And if we think the same thoughts, we feel the same feelings, we vibrate the same vibration, we get the same results. So what helps us along our evolution? Our soul's callings, because it stretches us into another area of thought and sight and seeing, so that we can have something new come in to support us along our journey. And there are 3 types of callings that I want to talk about today. I want to talk about spiritual callings that are this inner journey to awakening, to see something new in the world within ourselves. There are creative callings that are the divine's expression to be in us, through us, as us into the world, whatever we're being called to create. And then there's healing callings, where we're being called to heal something finally, so that now we can take our healing experience into the world as healers, because we're all healers. Wherever we go, we're always affecting one another. So let's start with spiritual callings. Oftentimes, spiritual callings are marked by that dark night of the soul. Anybody know dark night of the soul? And we know some teachers who went through that, like Byron Katie. Anyone know Byron Katie? Yeah, she did the work. Well, before she came to the work, which is 4 sets of questions, I believe, asking, is it really true? She was in the dark night of the soul. She couldn't get out of bed. She would lay in the dark for days, deeply depressed. All these anxious thoughts going through her head. She would lay on the floor and sleep. She didn't feel she was worthy to sleep in her own bed. And then one day, she woke up. She had a thought. From where? Her soul that asked, is everything she's thinking really true? Is it really true? I'm not worthy to sleep in bed. Is it really true? And she kept going. And not only did she keep going, and she was able to find the light, and she was able to find her joy again, but then she turned around and taught other people to do it. Same with Eckhart Tolle. So this spiritual awakening is just a shift in our perception to see something we didn't see before that brings us closer to the truth. That's what it is. I had this experience when I was in college. So my mom and I had a tumultuous relationship. She struggled with alcohol. Her behaviors as I was growing up were inappropriate, so I held it against her. You know, emotional blackmail. Anybody do that? I did. Even if she was trying to do better, I was still like, well, you weren't, the ideal picture of mom, like any of those exist. Like the ideal picture of mom. And one day I couldn't get a hold of her on the phone. And we talked weekly, every other day. We talked a lot. And I couldn't get a hold of her, and I was getting worried. So something said, call the hospitals, because nobody knew where she was. And so I called Community Hospital in Monterey, and I asked for her, and they said, oh, she's here. And I said, we'll put her on the phone. And so they patched me through to her, but she didn't know who I was. She'd had a psychotic breakdown. It's called acute schizophrenia from an imbalance, an electrolyte imbalance. I dropped everything. I flew to Monterey from Moraga, and they couldn't tell me anything. They didn't know if she was going to come out of it. And I was in this dark night, praying, communing with Spirit, and I had a thought about my mom. I thought, she's just a person. I saw her as mortal for the first time, as vulnerable, as just another human being who decided to love me as imperfectly or perfectly as she could. And all I kept praying for is, please return my mother to me. And she made her way back, but you know what? I was different. I wasn't entitled anymore. I wasn't judgy. And you know what? I took out the trash without even being asked. I was changed. And as a result, we grew a beautiful relationship over the next 20 years. But what would have happened if I hadn't had that opportunity to awaken to a higher truth about my mother? So I want to ask you right now, just go within and let's ask ourselves, is there any discontent or dark night of the soul? Is there some uncomfortability that's calling me to a higher truth? Maybe it's something with your spouse, or maybe it's some judgment about yourself or a family member. Is there a higher truth there for you to see, to awaken to? Maybe they were just doing the best they could, like we all are. Is there some challenging situation that there's a truth to wake up to? Maybe a skill you need to embrace or something you need to let go of. Don't waste your divine discontent. Let it break you open in a new way to see a new thing and to heal in a deeper way. And I invite you back into the room. So let's talk about divine callings. The Wright brothers. Let's talk about the Wright brothers. Did people know that there was actually more than just the Wright brothers trying to fly? And there was this guy, he was well regarded, he was very smart, he was a scientist, and all this money was piled on him. And he was going around making grand statements about how he was going to make progress and, get everyone, to flight and airplanes and whatever they were calling them then, airships probably. And then there was these two guys who nobody was looking at, out in a field, crashing, right? And everything within them, I'm sure people were like, can you give it up now? We're done praying for you. But they had a call, a divine call that they couldn't stop doing. So, what's the hallmark of the creative call? It's an unending pull. And when we start to answer it, we become led, right? As they say, God does not call the qualified, God qualifies the called. And if you're called, that's all you need. Don't let this or this get in the way. I remember in 2012, I wanted to be on a TED Talker. I was passionate. I got to get on TED. I know it's my divine, destiny to be a TED Talker. And I was telling everyone. And I was laying in bed one night, and I had a vision. This was a sight just before I fell asleep. I saw myself on stage, and I thought, oh, I'll just get a group of people, and we'll do our own TED Talk. We'll do our own thing. And I saw the stage. I saw the background. We had a little red rug. It was great. And then my head got involved. Who are you? You're not even speaking professionally yet, right? All of this stuff. And people kept asking me, here's another sign. People keep going, when's that book coming out? Or when are you doing the talk? I had one woman, Rosemary Romano, ask me for 6 years every time she saw me, when am I doing that public speaking class? And I finally did it in 2018. Now, I'd like to tell you that angels came down and told me to do it, or I woke up inspired one day, I'm going to do it. No, that's not what happened. I thought I need money for ministerial school. Oh, there's this little thing I could do. And I thought, okay, well, I'll call it Rise and Speak. And then I asked the minister if I could do it, and she said yes, and then I didn't promote it. Why? Because I was scared. And then I remember I was sitting back at the church, and the minister came out, and I said, well, I should at least ask her if I can announce it. She'll probably say no, because you have to submit everything ahead of time. I said, oh, can I announce my new class? It starts this week. She's like, sure, just find whoever's doing announcements. I have nothing written. And I'm like, oh, I better write something good. And I got up there, and I can't tell you what I said, but after service, it filled up. And I didn't even have a curriculum yet. And that's become now known as Rise and Speak. It's been one of the greatest gifts I've done through Spirit. People are healing. People are speaking their stories. I actually have one coming up virtually in November if you're interested. And I've put almost 100 people through the program, and I have a 95% completion rate from starting the class to speaking on stage, the number one fear. I could not make that happen. I could just say yes and take a step. And that's all you need to do. So I ask you right now, where are you feeling that constant pull to create? What is it for you? Maybe it's to adopt an animal or a child. That's still coming out in your heart. Or maybe it's to sing. Maybe it's to write a song. Maybe it's to volunteer somewhere. It just doesn't go away. You keep getting called. Or maybe it's to change careers. If it's not leaving and you feel the pull, that's your soul's call to your next creative expression. C.R. Lamont says, and in reality, that's what creativity really is, a spiritual connection with our higher power, a one-on-one talk with your own soul. That's what it is. And then the third calling is our healing callings. Those can be uncomfortable. Really, I got to forgive that person. I got to deal with this problem. But there's some very notable people who answered those calls, and our world is better for it because they did. Bill Wilson, I'm a friend of Bill, who created AA. He got together with a friend and said, let's work together and heal this. So he healed it, and then he turned around and gave that prescription to the world. Joe Dispenza, biker, chiropractor, gets in a horrible wreck, is told he's got to have all these rods and all these surgeries, and he said, well, what if there's another way? What if I could use my mind? And he began to research how to use the mind to talk to the body and to heal itself, and now he's teaching it. Our world is different. See, the hallmark of these healing callings is an overcoming, whether it's mental, emotional, or physical. See, our wounds, our challenges are our divine assignment to heal that in the world. We heal it in ourselves, and then we show another person. When I was at Unity Village, I had a profound experience about an event that had happened when I was a child. I was on my walk yet again to the conference center from the Hummingbird Chateau. Rough life, I know. It's beautiful. They have these on-site houses you can stay. And it was a long walk, and I was not happy about it. But it was purposeful. Because here I am in this walk, and just organically I began to see a scene play out between me and my father. My father had some very old school ideas about children seen, not heard. He believed in spanking and not in a good way. He was very contentious. We had a very contentious relationship. And there was a mountain of dishes in the sink, and he said, I need you to do those dishes. Now I'm 6 years old, little hands. And he made me do them last time, and the water hurt my hands. And I said, well, I don't want to do it. The water is too hot. It hurts my hands. He's like, I'm going to pay you $5 to do the dishes. I'm like, no. He's like, you're going to do those dishes or I'm going to beat you. Then I thought that was a choice. So I stood there, and I'm reliving this. I'm in the kitchen, and I'm thinking, beating hot hands. And I chose the beating, which he didn't like. But here's what I knew. My mom was in the room right over there. And now I saw something I never saw before, because I think in my little 6-year-old brain, I think there was something about her being right there. I knew I was going to be safe, because she came running in, and she diffused the situation. She found the courage to stand up to him so I could feel safe using my voice. And what I've discovered is that's what I do now, is I create safe spaces so people can stand in their power and find their voice. I never saw that before, that this has been my divine calling, that there was a deep healing going on there, a level of support and care that not only I received, but I was helping people do with Rise and Speak and the coaching that I do to find the courage. And in fact, I was at the conference, and a friend of mine who had been a singer, and she hadn't sang since 2018, I was encouraging her to sing at the talent show, and she said, oh, no, I haven't sang since 2018. I said, look, if you get up there and sing, I will too. I said, I'll sing the song I've been wanting to sing a cappella for years. I'll do it if you do it. I found the courage for her. Not for me, but for her. And sometimes we're stronger for each other, yes? We find strength in rising up. Now, I did end up singing the song, but not at the talent show. So if you want to know more about that, I'll share the actual song with you. It was a pretty neat story about that. So I want to ask you, what overcoming or sacred wounds have you experienced? And how have you been called to heal it or be a healing force in the world? Maybe you overcame addiction, you've arrested it, and now you're being called to be a sponsor. Maybe you've had some struggle with depression or mental illness, and you find higher ground, and now maybe you're ready to talk about it and inspire others. Maybe your struggle was around money wounds, and now you're debt-free, and you can share that hope and inspiration with someone. Or maybe you've overcome self-judgment, and you finally love yourself. Who could you share that with? A friend? A family member? What is your divine appointment? That divine healing that came through. I mean, don't waste the pain. If you did the work, light one more candle. Here's what Brene Brown says. She says, one day you will tell the story of how you overcame, what you went through, and it will be somebody else's survival guide. That's the kind of effect that we have on each other. So on our journey with our callings, let us remember that the mind is for navigating the issues of the world, the norms, how to have our intention translate, not our dreams, not what we love. And that our heart's calling is to navigate those things that we love and that we treasure in a way that the mind will never understand. And then let us stand in those soul callings and know that it never steers us wrong. Let us say yes, even knees and knocking, even if we don't know how. Let's take on the great journey, the adventure, and see what Spirit has in store for us. Because we're always influencing each other. We're like pebbles in a pond. And we may never know where the good that we've expressed goes or who it touches. But we will know in our own soul when we say yes. And that, I think, is the deepest possible healing we could have. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Give it up for Brandon. I will be here after service, 5 minutes after service. I'll be over here if we want to have a more detailed conversation of this, or if you want to share what came up for you, if you have any questions. So 5 minutes after service over here, we'll continue the conversation. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So now it's time for our joyous time of giving. And giving, tithing in the Bible is actually a spiritual practice. How much do you believe in all of this? And where do you believe your source comes from? And actually, it was one of my greatest journeys because I was teaching spiritual economics and a few other things here at the center. I thought, I'm going to really lay it on the line and write my tithe check at the beginning of the month before I paid a single bill, just to see what would happen at the end of the month. And I always had enough and to spare. And it's a nice lesson to learn for yourself and to really know it at a soul level, that you're just always taken care of. So that's one reason I give, just for that lesson. And secondly, this is where we receive our spiritual nourishment. And that's another reason to give to this place. Another reason we don't have a mother church. It's us. We're the ones that keep the center open for ourselves, really. It's so we're kind of donating for self-help. There you go. But we have great ways to give so that it's easy. I miss, though, writing my own check. I mean, I do the online, so it's always whether I'm here or not, it always comes out of my account. But sometimes I actually miss because it really brings it to focus on my attention. But we have this great QR code, too. You could just take a picture, and it'll take you right to where you can donate. We have a newsletter that comes out all the time. At the bottom of the newsletter, there's a donate button. I've even noticed, isn't it on Facebook too? So if you're in there looking at what we've got coming up, there's a donate button there as well. You can always write us a check. Like I said, if you're not here to give it on a Sunday, you can mail it in too. It will eventually get here. But it keeps these programs alive. I mean, that's why we do fundraisers, is so that we can have other funds to do. I mean, Marcy's done an amazing job with the center, the flooring, the chairs, just things that we need to make it more comfortable. So a lot of reasons to give and a lot of ways to give. Now I'd like to bring up Kathy Wilson, minister intern, Kathy Wilson, to just do a joyous time of giving, spiritual mind treatment for us. Thank you, Kathy.
We live in an abundant, prosperous universe. And as this is the truth of where we live and have our being, we absolutely know that when we give, we get back in unfold, miraculous ways. This is our home. This is our community. This is our very, very beingness. And so we connect to that prosperity. And we give with an open heart, filled with love and prosperity. And as this is the truth for each and every one of us, I am so grateful for this, that our needs are always met, always, in spirit, in community, everywhere we go. There is absolutely no place where the essence of prosperity doesn't flow in, as, and through each of us. So I release this word into the universal law. It is done. It is so, and together we say, and so it is.
Many pray along the way. They don't stop to wonder what the world is coming to. They let something higher reveal the way to greater love. Oh yes, so the truth is telling me, sing of liberation for the ones who are not free. Love can take us higher, reveal the way to greater love. Oh yeah, and so we let it wash over us. Oh, we let it make us kinder. Oh, we let it make us better. Oh, we let it be. Oh, we let it early in the morning. Oh, we let it hold us together. Oh, we let it now and forever. Oh, we let it be. Many cry along the way, walking through the sadness of a world that needs to know love can take us higher. Reveal the way to greater love. Oh yes, and so the truth is telling me love's the only answer, and to all humanity we can still inspire, reveal the way to greater love. Oh yes, and so we let it wash over us. Oh, we let reminder. Oh, we let it make us better. Oh, we let it be. Oh, we let it early in the morning. Oh, we let it hold us together. Oh, we let it now and forever. Oh, we let it be. Oh, we let the love wash over us. Oh, we let it be. Oh, we let the love wash over us. Oh, we let it be. Oh, we let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. Thank you. Thank you.
I think, are the kids back? Can we bring them up and find out what they learned today? Okay, looks like fun. Beautiful. Look at that. So what do we have here?
All right. Hello, everybody. Please welcome these lovely children that we have today. Ooh. Today we read a book called the I Am Affirmation Book, and it's a really cool book because it is all about discovering the value of who you are. And they go through a whole bunch of different affirmations that talk about how we're all connected to each other, we're all connected to nature, and so each one of them chose their own affirmation from the book, the one that they resonated with the most, and then we made these beautiful wreaths that they get to take home. So Charlotte, would you like to share your affirmation? Yes.
I am strong. And Izzy's is I am unique.
Addie, you want to share yours? No. So yep, that was our day today. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Great affirmations. Gary, would you mind coming up and getting us ready to do a closing song?
What kind of closing song would you like? The presence is here?
Oh, It'd be great. You know that one? No.
Before, but we'll find out.
You all want to stand up for our closing song together? The presence is here. The presence is here. Love and spirit prevail on each face. The presence is here. Amen. The presence is here. And I will meet you in grace. I will meet you in grace.
And as we go out upon our week, let us each remember that we are a point through which grace pours out. And let us hear the callings in their right lanes, and let us find the courage to say yes, yes to our soul calling, yes to be a light in the world, shining brightly to heal all that it needs and all that it could be. I release this word with gratitude into love and law, and together we say, and so it is. Yes, it be.
Hello, hello. If you're able to help stack chairs, we're going to stack either on the sides or on the stage. And then remember, maybe a little talk up here too. So if you want to discuss the topic.
Put this back here. Oh, excuse me. Good job, Brian. Oh, sorry. So glad you made it.